What's up, guys? So today I'm bringing you the Mugetsu review. Now, these are my opinions about him, and this is based on the fact comparing him to what he is today, not at the time of his release. He did come out over a year, maybe even a year and a half ago. So, probably the second best assaulter. Good for PvE, good for PvP. Not much else to say about that. Now, looking at his growth rates, they are pretty weird since his stamina growth rate is the highest, while his strength and wisdom is a 4.6 and only a 2000 base stats. So considering that he came out a year and a half ago, his base stats aren't that good, but his growth rates are still pretty good. Now, looking at his ability, increasing strength by 15%, agility by 18%, plus he has a natural 12% combo rate. That is a pretty good talent for anyone, especially an assaulter. Now, at his skill, he attacks all enemies with a growth rate of 190%. I believe that is the second highest growth rate for assaulters as far as attacking all. He randomly decreases 3 enemies' fury by 10 points. He casts silence on enemy supports for 2 rounds. Increases your own support's combo rate by 35% for 2 rounds. And he increases his own and the Vanguard's fury by 25 points. So his skill is pretty good. It's on God tier as far as it goes. You can only imagine how strong he was when he first came out. But taking a look at how his skill goes in game, thanks to my friend Waylord, he got me basically a battle report of seeing Mugetsu's skill in battle, so I could bring it here. I'd say Mugetsu's skill is probably one of the coolest in game. Definitely still pretty strong. Now, taking a look at exclusive skill, his exclusive, I would say, is very, very OP, but at the cost of defense. So his exclusive skill is the same thing. Attacks all enemies with 190% growth rate, but he has a 10% chance to cast Mutilate on a random enemy. So it's a dot, and it does 50% of his damage, I believe. So that is really good to have a dot. Then he sacrifices his own avoid injury by 80% to increase his own attack by 200% for 2 rounds. Now, if Mugetsu could stay alive with that exclusive, he would be hitting insanely hard. Plus, he restores his own fury by 50 points. That is unbelievable. He will be skilling every other round, and basically keeps the 200% damage bonus. Now, his growth rates significantly go up, but still stamina gets the highest, and then followed by strength. So you're really looking for strength and agility as far as it goes. Taking a look at his modifiers. Now, his first 3 mods, let's just say first 2. So first 2 mods are really easy to get, and they are amazing for him. So he gets an 8% extra attack and a 9% extra speed. Then the 10% extra HP is decent. Immune to Void. Now, back then, most partners, against Ishin and stuff like that, Ultima Aizen, Mugetsu was pretty much a PvP counter to those guys. Plus immune to silence and immune to stun. So he had really good immunities as far as PvP was back then. Not sure how it would compare to now, since most of the meta is basically Fury Drain or Fury Strict. So not sure how the immunities compare to today, but back then they were good. And then he adds 15% block rate to all allies. It can go past the cap. I'd say that's a really good mod as far as it goes for PvE, PvP. That's pretty good, especially for events. That would help out a lot. So taking a look at how you could get Mugetsu. Now, when he first came out, he was around $2,000. He was how much was it? 400 points in Pyramid. And every 100 points is a 20k top up. So you'd have to top up, math is hard right now. So you have to top up 80k gold to get Mugetsu when he first came out. And the second time they brought him back, it was something along the lines of a 80k top up, 80k top up, 60k consumption, I think, the second time they brought him back. So he was very expensive back then. But now he only costs you 30,000 to 35,000 gold. I haven't seen him for 30k personally. I think he might start dropping down there and stay at the same price as True Shikai Ichigo. But in Anniversary Feast, you could pick him up for 35,000. Now, in holiday events, you might see him cheaper, or you might see him basically able to redeem him for spending gold. Like the Labor Glory event we have going on right now, if you spend 50k gold on towards it, you're able to redeem Mugetsu for 50,000 points. And then, I'm not sure if he shows up. Sorry about that, guys. My uncle just came home from work. But 50k gold if you want to redeem him, and that's spending towards something else. 30k directly if you're trying to buy Mugetsu. And there's not really a lot of events to look forward to him. Just look for either holiday events or Anniversary Feast. Now, going to the conclusion of him. So, he has a lot of pros, and he has a significant amount of cons. So, he gives himself combo rate. That's pretty good. Attacks all, decreases fury, silences supports, increases supports combo rate for 2 rounds, giving himself and the Vanguard fury by 25 points. There are some Vanguards that give fury back to themselves. One I know for sure is True Shikai Ichigo. I think Kukaku also gives fury back. I'm not sure. Now he also has immunity to Void, Silence, and Stun. He has pretty balanced mods. I don't think any of the mods are bad. Now, a bigger con is if you could have Tensa Zangetsu while having Mugetsu. If you reach the 3rd phase of the Fortifies, you give Mugetsu 100% extra crit damage. That makes him probably one of the strongest assaulters. That might even make him stronger than the Yawatch, unless you have Katen and then you have Yawatch with full turn 1 fury, basically. And then he's one of the cooler partners that you could have. Everybody loves Mugetsu, especially from when Aizen and Ichigo fought. That was probably definitely one of the best fights for me in Bleach. Now, he has a lot of cons. Since he is an old partner, he has pretty low base stats, but he still has really good growth rates. He works the best with Tensa Zangetsu, but he isn't bad if you don't have it. He still costs a lot. For being out for over a year, I would say his price should have went down significantly. But considering how good he is, that's the reason why his price stays up there. He has a really strong exclusive skill, but I don't really see him surviving after he uses it. Since this is a support meta, assaulters aren't really that good, even when stacked. Now, you have to severely stack your assaulter, and they have to nuke the enemy support line before they skill, because mostly assaulters die. So you have to either severely stack him, and the problem with Mugetsu is that he's not that fast. He has a 4.6 growth rate, so he's probably one of the fastest assaulters you could get. But his base stats are pretty low. So even if you could stack him with your best agility equipment, Hogus and Stones, even supports will still outspeed him. That is a big problem now. So when you're coming up against Hikifunes and Senjimarus. So Mugetsu has no immunities towards Fury Reduction or Fury Restriction. Therefore, if he doesn't go first, if he doesn't have a Hikifune to protect him with invincibility, then there's another problem. So having a really expensive assaulter and a support meta doesn't really seem like the best thing to do. Now, there's a lot of things that Mugetsu is great with. He could be partnered up with True Shikai Ichigo, since he gives the Vanguard and himself 25 Fury, and when True Shikai Ichigo skills, he gives himself back 25 Fury. So, basically, your Vanguard will be at 50 Fury every time both of these skill. That means your Vanguard can skill every other turn. Especially when you have Tensa Zangetsu, this still makes Mugetsu one of the hardest hitting assaulters in this game. But for the price, if you're going to spend 30,000 gold for a partner, you might as well just get somebody cheap. Go for Berserk Renji if you want a PvE partner. Or just wait, honestly. You could also get Mayuri for PvE and events. He's pretty good. You can even wait. Maybe they'll bring back Koga. Koga's really good for PvP. So there's a lot of alternatives now. But for a old partner, I still say he's really good. So that's all I have to say for Mugetsu. I'm going to be doing a True Shikai Ichigo review next. You guys can suggest to me whichever partners you want. I'll always be doing the new ones, but I'm still trying to go back over the old ones. But thank you guys for watching.